Hello. It's a new season of the NAOL League, North American Online Go. Today we are recording. We had a bad mix-up in the call, and let's go ahead and get into it. For the first game, we have two dice playing. Here is the game. Let's turn on the AI for review. Let's see. Okay, a very regular opening so far here. Nowadays, black chooses to defend the corner a lot more than playing the mini or the micro Chinese openings. The attachment is also totally fine. This completes the Joseki on the top left instead of another move on the corner. Completing the Joseki on the top left, dividing up the white corner here is very, very nice. It is a very active way of playing. This will lead to a more dispersed game where black and white are sort of more mixed up with each other, which is always good. Okay, so in the game, white chooses a very simple two-move Joseki on the bottom, and here once again black goes for the dispersed opening, which is totally fine. So no side will have very large territories in the future. Joseki here, usually white responds in the corner first, and we'll probably see why what happens if white does not. Now note here, because white has another stone at k4, and this one extension on the side is unusually big for this time. This extension is an extension for black and also an extension for black. So it's kind of like a double extension. And this move is very, very big. So let's see if black can punish white in the corner enough. And in this kind of a case, guys, realize usually you are not going to be able to punish your opponent severely, and getting the whole art would be to get some kind of an acceptable result. This is the normal Joseki variation that follows this. Yes, it's very important for black to cut here first, and so on. Another Joseki is here. White plays this first and then connects. This one is a lot more thick and slow for white, slow and steady for white. There is another push and cut that's coming up next. And white can also take more territory. When I first saw this Joseki, I said, wow, this looks very good for white. This is also Joseki crawling. Black needs to cut first, and then black is able to secure the fourth line Atari and the third line Hane in Sente. And then connect. This is a relatively wholesome shape. It's very whole. It's not very weak. Another move is here for a little bit additional efficiency. This is okay. So this Joseki, we feel like, we can see how this is good for black. We've sealed white into the corner as a whole. However, in this case, white is also kind of safe on the inside. This was how I was taught to play after white tenukis this area. So and in this case, white has the next move, seems very, very playable, so it's surprising to me how well white is ending up after this Joseki on the bottom. So good job by white, but then also a very good job by black playing the right moves as well. Okay, relatively even result coming into this bottom fight. This is very interesting. So here in the game, if black decides to play the common sense move, Hane, Atari, connect, and then connect underneath, black would be, it would be better for black if he could get this result. This way, the cut here is, it still exists. White is not as thick. Here in the game, white will be able to capture a black stone very, very happily. This is a very nice, efficient shape. So even though white ends up in gote this way, white is still relatively happy. I would be as well. Okay, so there is another move here extending down, which is this is a sacrifice my two stones kind of a move for the bigger picture. This is very, very great. This is AI suggested. I didn't know about this. This is a very, very good continuation if you have the big picture in mind. And we'll see what happens after this. Black is able to Tanuki and have some 11, 12, 13 Sente points here. This is a very good example of you only have a chance to come up with this very, very nice way of playing. Once you start forgetting some of these josekis that you were taught, or if you learned, and so not only is it important to learn the joseki, it's also important to sort of forget the joseki so you can have more freedom to, you can gain more freedom to play stuff, this creative stuff. This is a good example of a very creative AI move that is something that is not easy to come up with by ourselves. It's very interesting for me to see. Okay, in the game, however, this double Hane likely to be yeah, we don't like giving up one stone against black right away. Of course, the same can be said. If white can connect in Sente, white prefers this position because we're not sacrificing a stone. And the next move is double Atari, double Hane, and then Atari here and Atari here. So it's very, very interesting. Okay, so in the game, a small loss by white, no big deal. Again, the real pain for black is losing this one stone in a very, very efficient shape against for white against black. Okay, the game has moved on to the other parts of the board. This move is very reasonable. As these two players have played a very, very high quality game so far. Very low, every move makes a lot of sense, and even the one before right here, this Hane, if black just Atari, wedges in like that, white would likely choose this variation, and it's unclear whether so it's like black gives up a little bit of a bad shape or good shape for white in order to achieve this game result where black is strengthens the bottom, strengthens the left, and also did it in Sente. So I have no problems with how either player have played the entire game, which is great. This is another common shape, and it leads to very complicated fighting for sure. The white cuts on the inside. Here's yeah, again, if you see the result, if you think if you cut and black will connect or extend or something, then we probably also prefer this shape over a shape where white gives up one extra stone, especially in this case, where the one stone is captured very clean off of the board. So much like the situation below at J3, J3 doesn't matter as much. This one matters a little bit more, just because this is fighting, and then black and white both need to strengthen themselves during the fight. And here, giving up one stone allows black to strengthen himself or herself much more easily than otherwise. So black takes this sort of a gift, and yeah, nothing wrong with this. Atari is reasonable if the extend is played. This extend will capture black, and that would be disaster, needless to say. Here, the next move is very, very hard. It's very difficult to extend here as white, because we see what the AI's variation here is: extend, black extends, white jumps, black pushes, and it seems like this corner black got everything. The one stone was dead. the corner 4 stones are dead. The side 2 stones are also dead. Everything is dead. This is so much. This is so much. This is so much territory. It can be very difficult to play this move. White chooses life, and this is very reasonable. I may have made this mistake myself. Black has 2 tanukis in the middle side and the middle of the board. This is very thick. A panuki is worth 30 points. In actual games, the panukis are usually worth something like 25 points. When they're next to each other, it's somewhat less, but it's, 2 panuki is much more than 1 panuki. So, okay, we see black pushing out a little bit ahead here. And the thing to point out here is that even if white is able to live on the inside the black territory, it will still be a very difficult game because of how much strength black has on the outside, and some kind of another move would capture white. Okay, so good. Here, it can be tempting to try to capture 1 stone bigger. I definitely would have done this. However, it does require some reading, and so here black would like to go on to other important matters, and there is this very nice looking squeeze, and this may end up in some kind of a close. So yeah, I think the way black played a little conservative on the capture is totally fine. And white plays this move as a sente move, but it is also very risky. It has a high chance of backfiring. Now watch what happens here. When white plays this move, white is threatening to connect. So if black plays the k17 move, it is now a sente move. So if white just extends back, black will tanuki, and now white stops. White has no chance of connecting underneath anymore. So in order to keep the threat alive, white has to connect, and this opens up another weakness on the outside with this cut for black. So this could be this could easily snowball into an effect where white is trying to get a little bit in sente, but if this move gets punished, white really loses. White really could lose, even more. Like he loses the inside group that he was threatening to save, and he's gonna lose these 2 stones. My personal so black is way ahead at this point. The inside corner has died. My big recommendation for all of you Go players is, you aspire to be. We all aspire to be someone who is very strong at Go, and usually that means 2 to 3 stones stronger than where we are currently, myself included. So if you do, and you definitely aspire to one day beat players who are 2 to 3 stones stronger than your current opponents. So if you do, then you're gonna have to make sure that you are, you take every opportunity and you play as high quality of a game as possible. This following situation happens so much. I win a fight, I get way ahead of my opponent, and I play defensively like black is gonna do here. And move after move, and my opponent all of a sudden catches up to me. Game is close, and I end up losing the game. So if your opponent is higher ranked than you, is very strong at Go, this sort of thing happens a lot. And this kind of situation is where we can train ourselves to really excel at the game, to really go beyond what we were comfortable with, and keep on doing the punishment, keep trying to play the best moves, even after we are ahead of our opponent. Because if you think about it, you are ahead of your opponent 5, 10, 20, 15, 20 points. That's like 2 stones. If you really want to improve a lot, try to go that extra. Try to go extra. And so here is my recommendation: when you are ahead of your opponent, always go extra. Play the attachment, try to cut. Play the wedge that we showed. Play all these. Don't let your brakes off of the gas pedal. And if you want to have some even more justification for why, remember we just watched the LG Cup finals with Ke, and in that game, Ke he almost threw the game by playing over aggressively. It's a bit of a counter example, but you just to show that we 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 talk about it here, just to show that even the top pros, they aspire to be even stronger than they are, so they always strive to win by more, which is always a good idea. So one recommendation: when you're way ahead, if you play like you do in the game, you're very likely to win the game no matter what. So totally fine. In fact, in the game, this is another way that you can sort of set up your opponent during the game. When you are way ahead, this is the school of thought that is, I don't have to. This is what most Go teachers say, which is very important that you guys hear what I just said, which is the other side of the story. You want to not release your foot off of the gas pedal. You want to continue and win by more. Okay, here is what is most commonly taught, which is you're ahead. Don't have to, don't make the board chaotic. Don't smash the board, figuratively smash the board, and so on. And so black is doing that very well here. Black plays a very safe move, and this kind of move has a very strong emotional, strategic effect. You are not in a hurry, your opponent becomes very hurried, and it can lead to a lot of these impulsive mistakes by the opponent. For example, in the game we see one by white here, taking away black's eye, and this actually exposes another weakness in white's shape, and this is gonna really seal the game for white here. Last attempt. Here's another example. The last attempt, white goes for something that is a little bit too aggressive here, and also again fails. And now this is a total destruction of a game. I myself have played many games where I am in white situations, so definitely don't feel bad if you are white in this game. Don't feel bad at all. Even when you get stronger, you'll still have these positions. When you try to come back, make sure you come back in a way that is, scientifically friendly. In Go, try not to do something that's too forced, like this one. Try to always play, try to give your opponent more pressure. While still remaining somewhat reasonable. I know it's very, very difficult to do, and I myself have played like white many times, so definitely don't worry. All good. Here, the snowball really started happening when white lost 1 stone earlier, and then see how bad the fight was for white. This situation was not acceptable, so what ended up happening was something that was even worse. Well played by both sides. Definitely don't feel bad if you are white. This kind of loss happens all the time. Okay, on the next game we have 2 1Qs, and I have seen both of these players play before in the NAOL league, so thank you guys for playing, and you guys are bringing the Go community in North America, doing your part. You can do your part just by playing and then enjoying the game. I will do my part to make sure to check my emails more often and then show up at the review session. Apologize once more. Okay, so here this game very reasonable normal Josekis. Here white goes for a reduction move on the black moyo, and here this is very nice. White expands white's moyo. Very good. Speaking of Go communities, guys, if you guys don't know, last time I saw something that was really shocking to me. The German league, which is the Germany's Go league, I saw a one of their rounds, and they had no less than 40 games go on at the same time. So, shout out to them for organizing and having a very good Go scene as well. Back to our game. Black has survived on the top here. This cut was very good by white. Black has a relatively comfortable base on the upper side. After this cut, black is forced to live again, and then black does live. It's a little bit comfortable, too comfortable for my liking, but I didn't see any way for white to really pressure black also. So very good fighting by black here in the first half. Very focused on his own deficiencies, and oh my god, this move was quite a nice move. Sealing white in from behind. Wow. Now this is a very risky move, even though it is very strong. This move is cutting white from a very strong group that is in the back. This is very risky because if something like this happens, and say black connects on the inside, black has a very strong, high chance of falling apart with the black shapes as well. So needless to say, this is quite risky for black as well. And so in the game, say if white survives on the right hand side, and I will recommend this extend to have a higher chance of surviving. This move likely will give white survival. Atari and play here, or play here or capture in order to survive. Okay, so here definitely recommend white play in the extend, which would give us one more ice space basically. Okay, and here is where the huge risk for black comes in the form of now black. If black doesn't capture white, all the stones that black has spent cutting white from the strength. Look at all these stones, they're not going to surround any territory. So this is very risky play by black. In fact, if you follow the AI, this is AI going for a kill right now. It's very difficult to go for this kind of a kill, needless to say. 12-13, white can capture a stone. There's all kinds of counterattacks going on. Okay, remember extend to give yourself even more strength. Here white has local strength, having captured one black stone. So if you extend there, it's a good way of making yourself a little bit of optimization, making your stones more optimized or more efficient. This 3 is a very nice move. We came up with some other moves that didn't live, but we'll see here if white plays 3 here. This is alive. This is quite a nice. This is along the same spirit as this extend. It requires some reading, but if you're able to come up with this, both of these extends, white would be alive, and that would be quite a nice way to play this game. This is not totally alive. Black has this sort of thing, but it's not. Black has to Atari and connect. White has an eye in Sente plus all this RG. Yeah, so this is fine. Okay, so in the game, white still needs to survive too, and good job by white surviving. Both sides have survived. Black does play in the corner, which is some territory. Okay. Interesting. Here white has enough strength to play this Atari and the block, and then do this kind of a shape. Watch this, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is using the one eye or barely two eyes weakness by black on the right hand side in order to in order to get a 11, which forces black to live in a very small corner. If black plays here at 6, white has a cente on the side, which will help this side. So this is a matter of applying the thickness principle to our game. White is fairly strong on the outside. Use it to punish black. Okay. This cut loses a lot of points. This cut is just captured with the 2 stones. It does gain black cente on the corner, so it's not too bad. This cut will lose any life with this 1 stone, although I have to say it doesn't look like there's much life to the 1 stone right now. So in that sense, giving up on the bottom side is totally fine. And in the game, black does succeed in making this, in making something happen out of this shape. And unfortunately here, black attaries 1 more and then plays this atari to ladder this 1 white stone. However, if black atari here first, it would be even stronger. Note how the next move black is capturing here instead of making this atari, which will help strengthen white significantly. So that's a whole difference. Black is attaring here where white could be capturing 1 stone and black could be capturing 1 stone. Just simply atari will force white to either extend 1 more time or to suffer this very efficient shape. Again, reversing the order is very nice here. Black will have to capture this at some point given some kind of a ladder breaker. So after black gets this shape, black does not want to atari here, adding a move to this very strong thickness. It's hard to say, you have to see it way beforehand to realize, but this is why the AI is showing that move and so on. Okay, needless to say, white running out with this ladder is very bad. Here black should capture immediately. There's another follow-up move of this wedge. This way black can get this capture in cente. In the game, black connects and black captures only in gote. A small minor offense versus white's extra running out of 2 stones. Okay, and the game, this is where white fell apart by a lot, and we couldn't find a way to really come back. In fact, white loses even more groups at the end here. Just want to add here, this run out, we'll see here this run out is a minus 13 points move. This is exactly how I got really hooked onto the game of Go when I was very young. My parents, my dad and uncle were playing a game I was watching. Besides them, I didn't know how to play at the time, and they were all going over the game, and they said, wow, when I ran this move out from 2 to 3 stones or 1 to 2 stones, that really made the game bad. Then the game was really difficult, and I sat there saying, wow, running out 1 stone, is that bad? It makes that much difference? The board is so big and running out this 1 extra stone hurt that much? Interesting. And so here this was a great illustration of this. 13 points and then 9 points, 22 points. With just these 2 moves. So hopefully, very nice. So you guys are maybe about the same level as my dad and my uncle at the time. My dad's an AGA 4 dan, so now, so he may have gotten stronger over the years. Anyways, thank you guys. Thank you both so much for this moment, which gives me a lot of happy memories, and thank you guys. Okay, you guys are not here for my happy memories. This is game 3, and this is between 2 3 queues. Let's see. Oh, Mr. Along, I've seen him in the past in the NAOL League 2. Thank you so much for playing, and good. Let's see. Black presses once. This is very Joseki. As here is one very great part about playing Go nowadays. So Go is a very difficult game to pick up, but if you reach a intermediate to quite strong level at 3Q, you'll be able to play the first 50 moves, very very similar to how the professionals do, in the even the top professionals. So this thank the AI for making Go accessible to more and more beginners. And well, yeah, I guess I am in a very thankful mood today. Thank you guys for playing, and thank you. The modern internet and dissemination of information that makes everyone able to play. It's very very reasonable moves, very very nicely played in the beginning of this game. Black feels a little bit of a struggle here. I think, but it's very hard to note. Here we went defensive and we protected this one weakness. Very, it's hard to argue against it. One thing may be to press out first and use this squeeze to save yourself, to protect the cutting point. It may be the case that black will just go for the sacrifice of the 3 stones. It may be that pressing one more time will greatly help black's shape. I don't know. Or maybe it's time for black to counterattack before the middle stones get strong. Here's a good idea. Here's a very good idea, and it's a good move. Maybe press once and then cut here. 3 stones versus the 1 white stone. The 3 stones look extremely big, and they are 20 points, but there are points value to them. There's very little thickness value to them. White is super strong on the inside, white is quite okay on the top. So this is the conditions that make sacrificing these stones worthwhile, because because black is so weak here, it makes capturing this 1 stone by black, and you'll want to do something like this, makes capturing this 1 stone by black very very worthwhile, very very valuable. So thanks. This is possible, and it may be the way to do. This is the spirit of I have to counterattack before I am totally strong, as opposed to what you guys usually hear, which is the thing, which is I have to strengthen myself before I counterattack, right? In this case, black strengthens himself and misses the opportunity to counterattack. All good. No big issue with this. Again, if you do go for the counterattack before you are totally strong, as the AI, this is one, as likely as what I am suggesting here. Do make sure you fight this. You play this fight in a very self-strengthening kind of way. Make sure you're not like for example, if you do happen to get some shape like this one, and when white plays here, make sure you do not say, I have to kill this white group. Make sure to keep adding strength to yourself. Make your territory. Just do this. Don't go for, don't expose your own weaknesses one more time. It's a good way to play more efficient, but it's also a very good way to to invite your opponent to capture your stones. I'm sure many of you and I have had many situations like this. Okay, so in this game here, white goes for the surround against black, very very strong, but here black does have very good counter-attacking positions. White is doing well in the game, mostly because white has, before the fighting happened, white has gained a lot of value on the bottom. Now, white did this at the expense of leaving some cuts on the outside, so here it's very important for white to go for something that is also, not fighting to the death. And this move is perfect. Of course, this is a direct threat, and it's a direct capture. So good job for White for seeing this, but it's very, very easy to miss. So if we're attacking and trying to capture a big group, it's very easy to miss this kind of a move. So very good job by Mr. Aland here. And this is totally good. White has used the attack to play some very efficient moves, strengthens the bottom, took territory. Right now, it's very important for White to finish this, phase of the battle or this campaign by strengthening the last part, the last group by White here. This move is doing that in the spirit. However, this move doesn't make the ice. If you made the ice, it would be here. This move also doesn't make the territory, which is why this move is going to earn very bad marks. For example, we can easily imagine if White played something, some big move, some regular big move, we can easily imagine Black playing this Hane and this move, and White would block. This is very reasonable to imagine. And the next move by White is definitely not here. If you want to make an eye, it's here. If you want to move out, it's to connect out. If you want territory, it is here. Next move is definitely not to play here, which doesn't threaten Black. So this is why this move, it's in the right area, it's just not in the right place, unfortunately. Okay, so Black does play this Atari on the outside. Here it's very important for White to realize this one stone now is lying on top of a very strong Black group, which is totally alive. For White to capture Black, this move has to be made, and then this throw in, but Black has another eye on the bottom. So Black is totally alive, so this is totally strong by Black. No need to save any stones that are severely handicapped next to the strongest Black wall possible. And here this connect is going to cost White a lot. In fact, it costs White even more because Black goes for this cove for the entire White group. So this is a saving Private Ryan moment. When saving this one stone, this is Ryan over there, leads to the danger of all 7 or all 8 companies, leads to the 8 that all went to save him. So this all went into tow, and Black captured one stone and played this move as this end game for later. So Black gained a lot, saving the one stone lost. Think of it this way. Don't think of it as you're saving that stone. You may think of this as you are shedding part of your body. The whole game is played by one person. This is like your fingernails, your hair, maybe a finger, but this is not one, whole life. Don't think of it that way. And if you do have to think of it this way, then think of it as, your stones, the biggest aspirations for them is their meaning in life, which is being a hero. If they are a hero, they are happy. And so don't deprive of your stones of being the chance of becoming a hero. Don't make them a baggage, a liability with which saving them, endangered and, is costing you the big game. Okay. All good. So this game uneventful at the end game. So both players played super high quality, and Black ended up winning by 7.5. Lots of back and forth in the back as well. But once again, congrats to the players for playing such a good game. And apologize again for not being able to do this live. Hope to see you guys in the next one. Next one is on my calendar now, and the future will go forward much more smooth. Thanks again, and thank you all the players for playing the game.